I've got some things to say about narcissism. First of all, we need to eliminate the stigma or shame around it. Everyone is a little bit narcissistic. And in a way, it's about our self-esteem and our sort of self-defense mechanism. If we are a little bit narcissistic, it's essentially this drive to say, I'm good enough, I'm okay. Now, if you really feel good enough, you don't need to defend it. You don't need to fight over it. But most of us have this sense deep inside of us that we're not worthy to some degree. And that sort of inner negative self-talk is something we're always engaging with and sort of battling with. And people who are highly narcissistic, it's just that we have a lot more of that self-hatred that we're doing battle with. Now, people like to think about themselves as being victims of narcissistic abuse, and they want to just label people and create all this sort of negative stigma. Well, we gotta stop doing that, because it's something that people who are narcissistic will use more than anybody else. And it's a form of canceling people. And narcissistic people are still people. And if we're all narcissistic, then if we created an algorithm to cancel narcissistic people, we would basically cancel everybody in the world. So we need to embrace who we are, where we're at with our level of work, inner work, on our self-confidence, on our sense of self-love and self-worth, and then start to work with this. And I think that if we created a culture of acceptance for what we are, and then willingness to do the work, to do the healing work necessary to reduce this sort of self-hatred and intensity of arrogance and puffing ourselves up in compensation. If we can reduce that, then we become healthier human beings. Now, I have had some issues with narcissism in my life. I've got some insecurities that get the better of me sometimes. I'm generally not abusive of other people, but I can be a little arrogant. I can be a little me, focus on me. And that is a little irritating for others. And worse than that, it's bad for me. It's much worse for me, because I'm not growing when I'm needing all the attention on me. When I think I'm the best person in the room, I'm not learning from other people. When I think that I need to be special in order to be worthy, then I'm creating a somewhat delusional version of reality in which I am better than others, I am special. And that means I'm not actually working on being better. I'm not actually learning new things from others. I'm in this sort of delusional reality, and I'm not really willing to face the most real reality. And that is the basis of narcissism. So if you really love truth, if you're really honest with yourself, you'll want to work on any kind of delusional beliefs that you're holding on to protect your ego. And this is the great spiritual work that everyone's working on. This is a universal problem, okay? So I think what we need to do as a culture is create acceptance that we're all narcissistic, and then work with that, and work with the behaviors. If there are abusive behaviors that people are exhibiting, we need to call them out on the behaviors. Don't call them a narcissist. Just say, hey, that behavior is abusive. That's not okay. Please don't do that to me. Please don't hog the attention all the time. Other people need time as well. And please don't belittle me or bully me or manipulate me like that. We need, and there's better languaging than what I'm giving you right here, obviously. I think NVC is a great way to just approach things as in, when you did such and such, it made me feel this. I have a need for being accepted in the group, or a need for safety. And I didn't feel safe when you verbally said such and such, attacked me essentially, but in other words. So we can start brewing, I think, a culture of non-abusive behavior. And then when people are abusive, it's kind of like your narcissism is showing, and we sort of push people lovingly back to equilibrium of, hey, there's nothing wrong with you, you're okay, just don't abuse other people, okay? Just be mindful of this mechanism within you that is perhaps on overdrive because you've been abused. Yeah, you are a victim, that's okay. We can, if you want to say you're a victim, that's fine. It does not make you special. It does not make you entitled to abuse other people. That's something our culture is going to not allow. And I think through that strong stance of boundaries, healthy boundaries, that yes, you may have a story that is traumatic, and we respect and love you and care about your story, but we will not allow abusive behavior to come from you. Then we start to push the entire culture, which has become extra narcissistic in recent years, back into a healthier direction.